Hey, in this video, we're going to be talking about the power of a VA home loan. So we're going to cover some quick items and hopefully kind of get you better set with what the VA home loan is, who's eligible, and how it stacks up to other loan programs. So first things first, VA home loan fact check sheet here we got. So basically, VA home loans are safe loans. They have a really low foreclosure rate as far as how they stack up against other mortgages in America. VA loans do not require a down payment. VA loans do not require private mortgage insurance. So, anytime you have less than 20% down on a home, you typically will have mortgage insurance. And for a VA loan, no down payment, no mortgage insurance is an absolute huge win. You can use a VA home loan to purchase an existing home that's perfect, ready to go as is. You can use a VA loan to do new construction, and you can even use a VA loan as a renovation tool. So if you're looking at any fixer-uppers or new builds, that might be possible for you as well. If you're a surviving spouse of a veteran, you may also be eligible to use a VA home loan, so you don't necessarily need to be a veteran to be eligible. So, how does the VA home loan stack up against other loan programs? Well, you'll see in this table here, we got the VA home loan on the left-hand side. We have a conventional and FHA loan. So the first row is the down payment. And you can see with the VA loan that there's no down payment requirement. So $0 for down payment is actually a huge win for buyers. In a conventional scenario, if you were a first-time home buyer, you could do 3% down, but typically it's going to be 5% down conventional. And then for an FHA loan, you could do 3 to 3.5% down. For a VA loan, month to month, there's not going to be any mortgage insurance. And so that's that second row there. Super helpful. What that does is that allows us as lenders to help qualify the buyer for more money, more purchasing power, because month to month, there's less out of pocket by not having mortgage insurance. And you can see with a conventional loan, again, if you're not doing more than 20% down or 20% down or more, I should say, then you will have mortgage insurance. And with an FHA loan, you're absolutely going to have mortgage insurance, and it'll actually be with you for the life of the loan. It won't fall off over time like a conventional. So yeah, and then how do rates stack up for VA versus others? It's actually very, very competitive. In a VA scenario, if you had a little dinged up credit, you wouldn't get penalized as much as you would maybe in a conventional or FHA scenario. So how does the VA loan stack against other popular loans? It's fantastic. It's a huge win for buyers to come into a home with no money down, to be able to purchase a little bit more home. That is by not having mortgage insurance, and then also being able to stay competitive on interest rate is an absolute fiscal win for any veteran or family. And then let's talk about eligibility real quick. So, if you served on active duty during wartime for 90 days, then you'd be eligible. If you served on active duty during peacetime, then you'd need at least 181 days of service. And keep in mind that basic training in AIT, your initial entry training schools, those do not count as time in service towards the VA eligibility. Okay. But if you served in the National Guard or Reserves, like myself, you would need 6 years of time in service before you are eligible. And if you were serving less than 6 years in the National Guard or Reserves and you had a Title 10 activation, so this is important for the National Guardsmen. If you were in the National Guard and you were deployed here in the United States and it wasn't under a federal activation like Title 10, then you would not be eligible. But if you were in the National Guard or Reserves and you were activated under Title 10 to either go abroad or at home, and you again served for the days needed on active duty service, then you could theoretically be eligible with less than 6 years in service in the National Guard or Reserves. Also, you'd need to be discharged under honorable conditions. And again, we talked about the surviving spouse, but if you are the surviving spouse of a service member who passed away in the line of duty or as a result of a service related injury, you would be eligible to use the VA home loan. However, the caveat there is if you got remarried, you would lose your entitlement to the VA home loan. Okay. So that is basically it, a crash course on the VA home loan. And if you have any questions, reach out. I'm happy to help. Thanks.